Hello there, friends. Zyori here with another Axie Dev update. January 2023 is up today, and it's a big one. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Putting a bow on an incredibly productive 2022 with a massive list of updates to share. Axie Infinity 9 hours ago. Key points. We continue to build relentlessly alongside our stalwart community and look forward to a year of steady progress in 2023. Axie development is proceeding at a blistering pace. Notably, we've launched the Axie Infinity Homeland Alpha, shipped a flurry of upgrades to Origins with Season 2, and introduced accessories, a key component of Axi-core. Ronin network activity is heating up with the launches of a revamped Mavis Hub, Katana Liquidity Program, and an all-new developer portal. Ron staking preparations are proceeding smoothly, and we have selected an internal launch date to push for. 2023 is off to a blistering start. We are delighted to have ended Q4 with an absolute avalanche of releases and improvements to the ecosystem. As usual, our current community is the absolute foundational bedrock upon which all progress rests. So before we get into updates, we wanted to start off the new year by thanking each and every Lunasian for their steadfast support through the good and more challenging times of 2022. Hopefully, many of you are feeling the same level of excitement we are about Axie and its long-term potential. The momentum is clear, and it's building rapidly. So hang on, we've got a lot to review. Ecosystem and Axi-core. In our quest to build an infinite gaming experience, we are hard at work building various core aspects to Axie Infinity, including an underlying lore, recognizable characters, a distinct and beautiful visual style, and various gaming and collector-centric experiences that allow players to engage the universe in varied ways. If you didn't already see the quick peek into the foundational story of Lunacia, take a look at the Tales of Lunacia trailer recently released on YouTube. We also announced the concept of Axi-core last month. In the same way that Axies give players access to a growing number of gaming experiences within our ecosystem, Axi-core provides players with means to advance, personalize, and bond with their collectibles in a growing collection of meaningful ways. We shared the first iteration of Axi-core with the release of Lunacia's stocking stuffers last month, available also on YouTube. This event introduced the community to Axie accessories by allowing Axie holders to claim limited edition holiday decorations for your assets. These on-chain heirlooms will deepen the bonds we share with Axies by allowing players to uniquely customize their experience. Plus, the event coincided with a new and improved Axie management page, which was well received by the community. We were excited to delight our community with the first step of Axi-core. There were also a number of other visual refinements we released, such as new Axie eggs and incubator art, and various Axie part upgrades. Expect to see many more of these enhancements to all of your collectible items released continuously over the months to come. Axie Infinity Origins. Season 2 adjustments. Season 2 is officially underway. We introduced considerable improvements to the game, and as we continue to prepare Origins for the broader App Store release. New game mechanics. We continue to refine card balancing and various gameplay mechanics based on your feedback. We've described all of these in depth previously, so if you're interested in the details, have a look at this Notion guide. Faster season pacing. We shrunk the game's season length to 6 weeks, and we are rewarding top players incrementally throughout the season to create more engaging, regular momentum into the game. Eras. We want to reward consistent effort within seasons, and to do this, we are progressively unlocking various parts of the game incrementally throughout the season, and rewarding players that participate in each era with AXS leaderboard rewards and special item unlocks. Daily rewards. We introduced a new mechanic where progressively valuable items will be rewarded to players who come play the game continuously. If you haven't already gotten into the mix, get battling and compete with thousands of others for the 112,500 AXS of prizes up for grabs. Contests. We've completed multiple contests within Origins since the launch in late October, and we're just getting started. We kicked off these contests with some intentional goals over the past few months, and we are incredibly pleased with the progress. We started in late October with the premiere to test all of the engineering work behind the scenes and orient players as to how contests would work. Soon after, we followed with a special occasion, celebrating players who owned unique Axies while also giving players, including those without any special Axies, something to play for. Next was Plant Stravaganza, where we focused on a specific class of Axies while also introducing an on-chain release and buy functions as missions for players to compete. We're excited to introduce in-battle specific missions where players might be asked to deal 300 damage, win a battle before round 3, and or win a battle using at least 4 attack cards. Until then, don't miss out on participating in these various events, including the newly released Lunar New Year contest. We intend for contests to be fun, accessible challenges for all players at all skill levels, whether you're brand new to the game or competing for a top arena position. There is still so much to explore with contests, and we're looking forward to bringing more contests to the Axie universe. Future plans. Our community provided us with considerable feedback that we're excited to leverage as we prioritize our work in 2023. Specifically, players love the team composition and inter-season theory crafting that comes from the wide variety of choices players can choose from. There is also consistently positive feedback on the graphics, sound, and user experience. Our current top priority is making the battle game itself more engaging and fun for players. A key to this will be greater choices and consequences. We believe an important component to increase the fun in Origins is for players to have more impactful in-battle decision-making. There should be multiple different paths players can take throughout a match that impact their available future options, the player's decisions, and the final match income. Just below that in importance is adding more progression within the game for everyone. While climbing the leaderboard and having engaging matches at a competitive level is exciting, it's also important to introduce progression for players who might not be able to continuously climb all the way to the top. This can come in the form of more sealed Axies, runes, and charms players can earn each season for free, as well as other types of leveling and collection progressions. You've all responded enthusiastically to the new Eras feature in Season 2, but there are many more mechanics that we intend to pilot. We have also been exploring an Origins Battle Pass as well as daily and weekly missions that will give players a lot more goals to achieve. We also need to mention cosmetics. Our players love the stickers and other cosmetics, but we think that there's so much more potential in cosmetics that'll enhance the battling experience. For example, we've explored some new ideas that could potentially allow players to decorate their side of the battlefield. Imagine planting a guild flag or conjuring up the fog of war, and to enable players to mint and share these cosmetics with others. Our community is incredibly creative, and we can't wait to see how players leverage these kinds of items to taunt, tease, and have good-natured fun with their opponents. Finally, another key priority for Origins in 2023 is onboarding the next wave of mainstream gamers. While we continue to polish the core game, we will also begin to shift our team's efforts into improving Origins core accessibility by adding tutorials and other learning systems. These kinds of features will make it easier for traditional gamers to onboard to the Origins gameplay, as well as the newer Web3 components that they're likely less familiar with. If you're interested in reading more about this and other future plans, we'd encourage you to read Phil's excellent New Year's reflection post. Bringing Axie Infinity Origins to Google. In December, we were thrilled to announce that we passed the Google Play Store review after working closely with their trailblazing team over the past year. This was one small step for Axie Infinity and a giant leap for the future of Web3 games. Blockchain gaming is progressively becoming truly accessible around the world. We revealed our plans to soft launch a feature-limited version of Origins in the Malaysian Play Store to give our team the opportunity to continue testing and improving the game. This will allow us to make Origins even better by the time it starts going live in other countries. Axie Infinity Homeland. At long last, we were proud to release an early alpha of Axie Infinity Homeland exclusively to Axie Infinity landholders. Project K now has a name. It's no longer Land or That Game That's Coming Soon. It's called Axie Infinity Homeland. Our vision for Homeland is that it serves as a forever evolving, challenging, fun gathering place for our digital nation to play, socialize, and build. We have massive plans for Homeland and are excited to introduce people to the world of Lunacia through an incremental gaming experience that encourages players to build a truly living, real-time world as they play an engaging, deceptively complex game. In the game's first act, landowners guide Bubba, Puffy, and other friends of Lunacia as they work together to create a vibrant, productive homeland. Support native adventurers before they battle waves of monsters by arming them with weapons, armor, and other supplies they need to preserve on the battlefield. Compete against other homelands for bragging rights and prizes, all while creating a vibrant, player-created world where a number of future experiences will unfold for all. You all seem to really love the game so far. Your encouraging feedback and support are a shot of energy to the team. Our back-end analytics for the game also show some very promising trends. Players tend to play long sessions, and overall retention over the course of the session is excellent. Additionally, despite the early stages of the game's user experience, players show considerable progress in advancing their plots by measuring current town hall levels across all players. The game also kicked off a broader distribution of land assets to a greater number of players. As of the release of this dev update, Lunacia is supporting an all-time record number of landholders. We're excited to introduce these new property holders to Homeland and all future land-based activities. The primary goal of this Alpha Season 0 release is to transition the game's development to an iterative feedback and refinement stage. We want Homeland to benefit from your input. Thanks to your feedback, we've already released 3 mid-season updates and are continuing to focus on improving the user experience and bug squashing. The inaugural Season 0 will end on January 31st. It will be followed by a 2-week period where the game will be offline. All in-game progress will be reset, followed by a kickoff Alpha Season 1 on February 15th. 2023 will be chock full of surprises and updates to Homeland, and we're enthusiastic about finally having it in your hands. In December of 2022, we released Axie Infinity Raylights in a collaboration with the talented Quick Save Interactive team from Finland. Landowners can now cultivate their beautiful plots in Lunacia by sowing minerals and growing plants. This landmark event was a glimpse into the future where your Axies unlock new experience over time as a base layer asset. Here's a brief summary of releases we've shipped to the game since then, as well as upcoming player-requested features. Achievements. Players can now unlock achievements and earn achievement points by completing various tasks in-game. This adds a brand new level of depth and replayability to the game. A total of 24 achievements and 60 tiers in total have been added thus far, and more are planned for future updates. Seasonal minerals. Raylights has surprise, limited-time minerals that are added to the game to celebrate holidays and special events. For example, during the recent Christmas and winter season, players were able to grow 5 unique plants using special holiday minerals. Keep an eye out for additional minerals. User experience improvements. Players have been quick to identify ways to make the game more intuitive to play. For example, players can now double-click on a mineral to add it to the nursery. If you haven't played the game in a while, go check out the various other additional improvements. New mineral, Celestine. Players can look forward to a new mineral called Celestine, which will bring with it multiple new plants to discover. Just like it sounds, Celestine will unlock multiple celestial plants and further allow players to customize the garden of their dreams. Reducing the grow time. The community has spoken. Players want faster plant growth times. Coming soon, Raylights will tweak timing to better engage players and reduce idle wait times. Non-landowner gameplay. We want to make Raylights more accessible to the community, and with an update coming soon, landholders will be able to share access to their land with others. This will open up the game to non-landholders. The game team is hard at work, so why not join them and get to gardening? The Builders Program. We are tremendously proud of what our various community ecosystem partners have accomplished thus far with the Builders Program. Building games is an extremely challenging process, and identifying the full set of skills, abilities, and resources needed within a team to release a successful game takes persistence and commitment. However, it's easy to take the incredible progress of the Builders Program participants for granted, and they've made it look easy with the quality and breadth of their efforts. We polled the participants to check for updates, and many of these teams were eager to share their progress with you. So let's get into it. Across Lunacia. We wanted to pass a note sent from the Across Lunacia project lead, Arctic. Quote, "Our team has been working diligently to make Across Lunacia an enjoyable, replayable, and beautiful experience for all Axie holders. Since onboarding our 4th team member, we have revamped our art direction and further defined our gameplay experience. We will have a new public build to share with the community in Q1, so stay tuned." While we continue to root on this team's continued success, we thought you might like to see a sneak preview of the updated visuals of the game's next release. Enter the Dungeon. The team behind Into the Dungeon is thrilled to announce that they'll have a limited access alpha for the game in the next couple of weeks. In Into the Dungeon, players embark on an adventure through treacherous dungeons and face off against fierce monsters. The game is packed with intuitive gameplay and beautifully designed graphics. Here's a sneak peek of this upcoming gameplay as well. Into the Dungeon is currently taking applications for alpha testers. If you're interested in being part of the team, use the button here to apply. Axie Quest. The team behind Axie Quest has been hard at work building a game that blends puzzle matching and RPG game elements. In Axie Quest, players bring Axies they own into the game so that they can train in the gym and battle against wild monsters. Success in training and battle levels up your Axie, which unlocks new abilities and skills as it progresses. The battle arena also allows players to compete against one another and climb up the competitive leaderboards. A playable demo was released at the end of 2022, and the game has entered into a closed alpha. Here are some screenshots to give you an idea of how it might play. Interested in giving this one a try? And you want to provide feedback to the design team? You can also sign up for the closed alpha with this button here. Tacticards, the Axie game. Tacticards is an addictive tactical battle card game that allows players to leverage Axie Infinity assets they own to compete against other players in the community. For those of you who were able to attend AxieCon last year, you might have had a chance to play the physical Tacticards card game at the Builders booth. The work in the months following AxieCon has brought us to today, and as the team is launching the first public demo of the digital version of the game in January, take a look at the preview of this gameplay below. The goals of this demo are to introduce the community to both the solo and multiplayer game modes and get feedback from early players to further prepare the game for broader release. Stay tuned on their Twitter @Tacticards to be one of the first to try it once the game becomes available. Axie Infinity War. The team behind IAW continues to make considerable progress, adding considerable features since the last dev update, including a new user authentication system, the ability to deposit, withdraw, and leverage SLP within the game, an in-game chat system, alongside noteworthy enhancements to graphics, gameplay, and the user experience. In fact, a new alpha of the game was recently released to the community. Here, you can take a look. Join the emerging fan base behind this game by downloading it and giving it a try with this button. Other Builders Program games. Of course, all of the Builders Program teams have made progress since our last update, but there's almost too many updates to share. A couple of quick teasers before we move on. Vroom vroom, can you guess what Builders Program game these graphics are from? We're also happy to welcome the Axie Raids project to the Builders Program. For those community members who like tower defense style games, join them in following their development by pressing follow on Twitter. App.Axie. The mission of App.Axie has been to provide core infrastructure for the expanding Axie and related IP platform. Since our launch in September, we replaced the legacy marketplace. It has been exciting to see the foundation we built being put to good use. Third-party games have been added to our games section, new collections have been added to our marketplace, and we launched another Lunasian Express event. A quick look at the progress we've made. Third-party games on App.Axie. In the Q4 of 2022, we successfully integrated 2 third-party games into App.Axie, Raylights, a LAN mini-game, and Doll, a graduate of the Axie Builders program. The integration of third-party games such as Raylights and Doll on App.Axie marks the expansion of our game universe and the expanded role of App.Axie's position as the primary platform for players to engage and access with the Axie universe. Accessories. With the Christmas event, we introduced a new addition to the App.Axie marketplace. Accessories. This is a huge milestone. For the first time since inception, users can interact with their Axies in ways beyond in-game experiences. To augment this experience, we have also launched a new Axie management page where owners can attach and detach accessories on their Axies. Additionally, the marketplace has been upgraded to support displaying fully dressed-up Axies. Users can also collect and sell Axies on its own dedicated marketplace. Lunasian Express. In the spirit of Christmas in Lunasia, owners came together for Lunasia's Stocking Stuffers event by releasing their Axies into the wild in exchange for festive accessories to adorn their little companions. A noteworthy feature that helped streamline this experience is the bulk release option. The bulk release option feature allows users to conveniently select multiple Axies and then release them all at once. We are constantly working to evolve our platform and are thrilled to announce that the highly requested feature, Offers, is now at the forefront of our development efforts. The team is neck deep in development and anticipate its release in Q1 of 2023. We are proud of the progress we have made and look forward to another exciting year of releases and improvements. Esports. After 2 successful esports grants, our third grant of 160,000 AXS received massive interest as we received a record number of proposals with a collective total over 400,000 AXS of value. This meant that we needed to make a number of hard decisions, and we ultimately decided on a selection strategy that supported tournament organizers who have proven long-term supporters of the community. We're excited to move forward with 52 events, which feature tournaments in the Philippines, India, Argentina, Indonesia, Nigeria, Thailand, USA, Brazil, Dubai, Venezuela, and Vietnam. Axie Esports is truly becoming a global phenomenon, so we wanted this season to reflect a truly global tournament schedule. Additionally, the tournaments provide a wide variety of events, including dailies, weeklies, leagues, and large one-off tournaments. Take a look at the planned calendar below. We've also had a number of notable tournaments since our last update, which deserve some brief updates. Axie Manila. 256 of the greatest Axie players from around the world gathered to close out the Philippine Web3 Festival. American competitor Andrew Spam and Rice Lee took home $80,000 USD out of the $160K prize pool after edging out Zarathustra of the best of 7 finals. Axie Masters League. After 3 phases of grueling competition, the top 8 teams met in the Philippines to crown a champion double elimination style. After getting swept in the winner's bracket, Meditate fought back to force a final where you swept and rated the $70,000 check. Axie Cloud9. We're thrilled to partner with one of the world's largest gaming organizations to increase the scope of Axie Esports. Our first event saw some of Axie's top pro players, Zero, Cairo, Logic, and Wacko, compete against Cloud9's top players, Mango, Zelsis, Jack, and Blabber. Community. Governance. Our community tends to attract a considerable number of mission-aligned gamers who are committed to helping us develop Axie Infinity into the digital nation that it's destined to be. The community has literally thousands of people who regularly build and contribute to the ecosystem on a regular basis. We believe these people are incredibly important to Axie's future, and we've made considerable progress on identifying and empowering these contributors through our contributor program. The long-term goals of this initiative are to progressively empower and encourage mission-aligned community members to develop further Axie Infinity in sustainable, consensus-based ways, better harness the collective wisdom of our passionate community, and iteratively develop the governance infrastructure that will enable collective action at scale. At the end of the year, we successfully kicked off our pilot season of the season 0 of the contributor program, welcoming close to 1,000 contributors into a special place on our Discord where we are working collaboratively alongside them to make progress in developing our community governance. Our goals over the next 6-month season are to learn how to sustainably identify contributors in Axie Infinity, better understand contributors and what makes them unique, empower contributors to identify priority, near-term opportunities to improve Axie Infinity, build first iterations of community infrastructure that enable consensus building that can lead to concrete change and action. If you missed out on the application process of this season, no problem. This is just a pilot season, and all of the information is publicly available for you to follow along on Discord in the governance section. If you want to make sure your ideas get across, please do reach out to your fellow contributors to speak on your behalf. There will be plenty of opportunities for you to apply and share your contributions with your peers in the months to come. Regional updates. Philippines. In October, we hosted CabspeCon, the biggest in-person Axie event held in the Philippines with close to 900 attendees. It was hosted in one of the regional birthplaces of Axie, Cabanatuan City. Key partners that helped us mount this event were Blockchain Space and community members Cuckoo and Sprayky. This was one of the most successful IRL events we held all year, and it definitely won't be the last. In November, 2 big tournaments happened in the Philippines: the Axie Open Manila and MMG tournament. We already had presence in the Web3 PH Festival, where co-founder Jeffrey Jiho Zerlin gave a keynote talk about the future of Axie, as well as some juicy leaks. In December, we hosted a couple holiday-themed community events Community member and pro player Ruthless Reg hosted the Ruthless Cup meetup, which had over 150 attendees. We also had 2 events that were meant to give back to the communities in need: the Basketball Cup in partnership with Spam and Rice, and the Kaba Naton Community Drive in partnership with Sprakey and Axu. LATAM. The Latin American region continues to be an area experiencing both considerable interest and long-term community engagement. A quick selection of important regional updates. La BitConf Buenos Aires. As the largest crypto event in Argentina, we were happy to collaborate with our allies Sura Gaming to host a panel, a gaming experience booth, and an esports tournament at the event. These collective activities registered over 5,000 attendees. Welcome Team Queso. Team Queso, one of the biggest gaming guilds in Spain, officially announced their participation in the Axie competitive ecosystem with the integration of Rohan, Enefetero, Azaria, Palaka, and Mansai. The community received this news with a lot of excitement and open arms. New Year greetings by Axie Espresso. More than 80 creators, pro players, Sky Mavis, and community members participated in a community-created project called Holiday Greetings from the Lunasian family. The resultant videos, coordinated by Latin American community members Axiolathia and Axitopia, shared the joy of belonging to our digital nation family during the festive time of the year. Japan. We continue to focus on Japan as a strategically important country for future growth. We're excited to see significant progress and interest in the region. Some quick items of note. We're excited to see AXS officially listed within BitBank, one of the first exchanges in Japan to support our token. We continue our outreach campaigns, hosting multiple events in both Tokyo and Osaka in the last quarter. In each of these events, we host presentations and live battles from professional players alongside introductions to Axie Infinity, including a Ronin wallet tutorial, an app.axie walkthrough, live gameplay tutorials, and giveaways. Our Japan regional Axie representative Albert joined a panel with other Web3 developers and guilds at the Japan GameFi Night, attended by hundreds of future Axie community members. They discussed various topics, including Axie Infinity and expanding the larger GameFi ecosystem in the country. Infrastructure. Ronin. We launched Ronin in 2021 as our flagship franchise. Axie Infinity needed a more efficient L1 to process the enormous growing transaction volume from active players. Today, we're proud that Ronin is becoming an accessible and competitive blockchain for a broader gaming collection in addition to Axie. We've begun cultivating robust partnerships with world-class gaming studios and have shipped critical infrastructure enhancements to match as we fulfill our vision of becoming the next generation Web3 publisher. Here's a snapshot of Ronin's progress from the past few months. Saigon Testnet. Ronin began an important journey towards greater decentralization with Saigon Testnet's successful launch in November 2022. Saigon gives developers the ability to test and deploy their own smart contracts on Ronin infrastructure. That means anyone, anywhere can now show the merit of their work and make the case for this deployment on Ronin. Read more about what this means for Ronin with this link. Saigon Validator Program. This month, the Saigon Testnet migrated from a proof of authority consensus mechanism to a delegated proof of stake mechanism. This allows our team to battle test the groundbreaking migration from going live on mainnet. We were encouraged by the huge volume of applications to become a testnet validator for the community, so thank you to everyone who applied. We reviewed over 250 applications. Recently, we reached out to the 25 shortlisted applications for another round of review before selecting our final 16. Please stay tuned for more information that will be coming shortly. 2023 Katana Liquidity Mining Program. The Katana exchange is at the heart of the main net, Ronin, where everyone trades RON. In January, we implemented the 2023 Katana Liquidity Mining Program to increase RON liquidity while decreasing inflation. This involved transitioning WETH token pairs to RON token pairs and adjusting the token's emission structure. Sky Mavis Developer Portal. From the onset, we wanted to encourage our talented community to build, and while we've released a number of tools, they weren't as easily accessible as we think they should be. So we've been hard at work organizing, documenting, and creating a number of new tools and APIs to empower developers. When we released the developer portal earlier this month, our goals were to build a central location for developers to rest, build, and get support for whatever your imagination takes you. Developers who enter the portal are able to register their apps, generate API keys, review rich API documentation, and get feedback from the Sky Mavis team. If you're interested in giving it a try, our community friend Akil has created a walkthrough to get started, complete with Hello World, equivalent for Axie Infinity, determining a given account's lifetime SLP burn rate, excuse me. Mavis Hub 2. Mid-January, we released Mavis Hub 2. This update to Mavis Hub serves as a foundation for future Ronin desktop games. You can now access Raylights and the community-built Axie doll from the same place as Origins and Homeland. Plus, the brand new Mavis Hub UI allows players to log in using a Ronin wallet QR code. This was an important step in Sky Mavis's evolution to the next generation Web3 game publisher. Next steps. This past year challenged Ronin, but we're convinced to come out of the experiences stronger and more resilient than ever. When Ronin launched in 2021, we understood that we had the groundbreaking opportunity to bring digital ownership to the world through gaming. We are supremely confident that 2023 will be regarded as the true breakout year for the network. That's a wrap for this edition. Stay tuned for a whirlwind of announcements coming in the near future. You think this is a lot? Wait until you see what's coming soon. Make sure to subscribe to the Lunacian on Substack to catch all these updates.